Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, Chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute, Text number 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Sakta Manaf Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Jnasyasi Tachrunu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Now hear, O son of Pritha, Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the nature of Krishna consciousness is fully described. Krishna is full in all opulences, and how he manifests such opulences is described herein. Also, 4 kinds of fortunate people who become attached to Krishna and 4 kinds of unfortunate people who never take to Krishna are described in this chapter. In the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the living entity has been described as non-material spirit soul, which is capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yogas. At the end of the 6th chapter, it has been clearly stated that the steady concentration of the mind upon Krishna, or in other words, Krishna consciousness, is the highest form of all yoga. By concentrating one's mind upon Krishna, one is able to know the absolute truth completely, but not otherwise. Impersonal Brahmajyoti or localized Paramatma realization is not perfect knowledge of the absolute truth because it is partial. Full and scientific knowledge is Krishna, and everything is revealed to the person in Krishna consciousness. In complete Krishna consciousness, one knows that Krishna is ultimate knowledge beyond any doubts. Different types of yoga are only stepping stones on the path of Krishna consciousness. One who takes directly to Krishna consciousness automatically knows about Brahma Jyoti and Paramatma in full. By practice of Krishna consciousness yoga, one can know everything in full, namely the absolute truth, the living entities, the material nature, and their manifestations with paraphernalia. One should therefore begin yoga practice as directed in the last verse of the 6th chapter. Concentration of the mind upon Krishna, the Supreme, is made possible by prescribed devotional service in 9 different forms, of which Shravanam is the first and most important. The Lord therefore says to Arjuna, Tat Shrunu, or hear from me. No one can be a greater authority than Krishna, and therefore by hearing from him one receives the greatest opportunity for progress in Krishna consciousness. One has therefore to learn from Krishna directly or from a pure devotee of Krishna and not from a non-devotee upstart puffed up with academic education. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this process of understanding Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is described in the 2nd chapter of the 1st canto as follows. Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suratsatam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tadarajastamo Bhava Kamalo Bhadayeschaye Cheta Etairana Viddam Stitam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hridaya Grantis Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha Kshiyante Chasya Karmani Drishta Evatmani Ishvare. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lusts and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamshayam Samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the signs of Krishna. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada.
Maya Saktamana Partha Jugam Junyan Madasre Asang Sang Samagrang Ma Jatha Gyasasi Tatshino. So today's subject matter is Krishna Yoga. Yesterday we discussed some portion of it. Now, Krishna is all attractive. Vaishajyasya samagrasya bijasya jasasya sriya jnana vairagyayastaiva saraiti bhagangana. Bhagavan. There is definition of Bhagavan. Not that any rascal advertises himself Bhagavan and he becomes Bhagavan. No. Parashar Muni, father of Vyasdev, gave us what do we mean by Bhagavan. Bhaga means opulence, and Ban means one who possesses opulence. Just like we have our practical experience, anyone who is very rich, he is attracted. He becomes attracted. Many men go to him for some favor. One who is very influential, he becomes very attractive. One who is very famous, he becomes attractive. One who is very learned, wise, he becomes attractive. One who is very wise, he becomes attractive. And one who is in the renounced order of life. Renounced order of my life means one who possesses everything but renounces, does not use it for his personal benefit. Just like a person who is very charitably disposed, he gives everything to the public, he is also very attractive. So these are 6 kinds of attraction. So Bhagavan means one who is in full possession of all these attractive features. He is Bhagavan. Not any rascal loitering in the street and becomes Bhagavan. No. That is misleading. We do not know what is meant by the word Bhagavan. Therefore, we accept any rascal as Bhagavan. Vaishajyasya samagras, riches. There are many rich men in Bombay city. But nobody can claim that I am the possessor of all the riches. All the bank money or any money there in Bombay, that is my money. Nobody can say. But Krishna can say, Vaishajyasya samagrasya. Samagra riches, not paltry portion of it. Samagra. Vaishajyasya samagrasya bijasya. Strength, influence, bijasya. Jasasa, reputation, fame. Just like Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago, but still it is adored all over the world, not only in India, but all over the world. Bhagavad Gita is known in any country, irrespective of religion or faith. Everyone, any intelligent man, any scholar, any philosopher, reads Bhagavad Gita. That means Krishna is so famous. Everyone knows. So, Vaishajyasya, and when he was present, he showed his riches. Narad Muni wanted to see how Krishna is managing his 16,000 wives, 16,108 wives. So, when Narad Muni came, he entered each and every palace. There were 16,108 palaces, all marble palaces, bedecked with jewels. There was no need of electricity or light at night. All the palaces were so bedecked with jewels. And the furnitures are made of ivory and gold. Opulences. The gardens are full of parijat trees. And not only that, Narad Muni saw that Krishna was present with each and every wife, and he was doing different types of business also. Somewhere he was sitting with his wife, children, somewhere marriage ceremony was going on of his children, somebody, so many, all, not one kind of engagement. So, this is called opulence, riches. Not that possessing a few tolas of gold, one become God, no. Bhoktaram jagadavasam sarvaloko maheswaram. Sridham, Krishna declares that I am the supreme enjoyer. Bhoktaram jagadavasam sarvaloko maheswaram. I am the proprietor of the planets. That is richness. Power, so far strength and power is concerned, Krishna, when he was 3 months old, on the lap of his mother, he killed so many demons. So, Bhagavan is not manufactured by some process. Bhagavan is Bhagavan, always Bhagavan. Either he is representing as a child or a boy or youth, he never becomes old. That is another feature of Bhagavan. That is another issue. We want to keep our youthhood by so many ways, but Krishna is always young. Bhagavan is always young. Bhagavan never becomes old. Advaita achyuta anadi ananta rupam adyam purana purusam navajauvanancha. He is the purana purusam. Purana purusam means the oldest person. Because he is adyam, beginning of all purusas. Purusha means the 3 purusas, Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Karanadakshay Vishnu. They are called Purusha. So Adyam Purusham. He is male, person. He is not imperson. Imperson is only, he is one bodily feature. So, in spite of his being Adyam, Adi Purusham, the cause of all causes, cause of Mahavishnu, cause of Brahma, is still Navajauvanancha. He never becomes old. God never becomes old. That is his opulence. Aisajyasya samagrasya bijasya. Jasasya, Jasa I have already explained, he is so famous, still. You cannot find in the history of the world 5,000 years ago who appeared and is still famous. You don't find. There is not a single instance within the human history. But Krishna, he appeared 5,000 years ago. during the battle of Kurukshetra, before that, and still he is famous. Not only famous in India, but is famous all over the world. In each every language, the Krishna word is their dictionary. He is also stated as Hindu god. But Krishna is not Hindu god or Muslim god, he is God. God is neither Hindu nor Muslim nor Christian. God is God. So, Krishna is Bhagavan, Swami Bhagavan. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. There may be many Bhagavans, but Krishna is the original Bhagavan. Ishara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. So, Krishna says, Maya Sakta Mana Prartha Jogam Junjana Madasraya. We have to increase our attachment for Krishna. So how we can increase our attachment for Krishna? Unless we know Krishna, at least something about him. Just like a girl becomes attached to a young boy when she knows about something, about that boy. The more she knows, she becomes attracted. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Siddhanta boliya chitte na karo alas, iha hoite Krishne lage sudhira manas. If we want to be attracted by somebody, we must know about him something. Simply superficial understanding will not do. Just like we feel sometimes inconvenience in preaching about Krishna, because people here, they think they know everything about Krishna. What they will hear about from the Americans and Europeans? What you can teach us? Familiarity breeds contempt. No, Krishna is not so easy to know. Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaye jatatamabhi siddhanam kaschid vettimam tattvato. We have to know Krishna as he is. So know means to hear about him. Because Krishna, we are not directly in contact with him, Krishna. And yoga, Krishna yoga, means to know Krishna, and then we become attached or make connection with him. Sambandha. This is called sambandha. We must know what is our relationship with Krishna. That relationship is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was inquired by Sanatana Goswami, what is my position, what I am? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that every living entity is eternal servant of Krishna. This is our relationship. We are eternal servant of Krishna. Therefore Krishna is asking here, Maya Sakti. We are eternally related with Krishna. But now, under the influence of this material energy or illusory external energy, we have forgotten Krishna. Therefore Krishna says that you have to divert your attention, attachment to me, Maya Sakta. Mai, Krishna says Mai. Maya Sakta. Maya Sakta Mana. Mind has to be always fixed up in Krishna. This yoga has to be practiced. As Maharaj Ambarish did. Savai Mana Krishna Padara Mindayo. He was a great emperor. He had many business, political and maintenance of the kingdom. He was always busy, great emperor of the whole world. But still he fixed up his mind always on the lotus feet of Krishna. That is called Krishna Shakti. Krishna Shakti, Maya Sakta Mana. Mind has to be fixed in Krishna. The process is very simple. Process is very simple. Everyone at home, in any condition of life, he can fix up his mind in Krishna. Our mind has to be fixed in something, because mind is never vacant. It is always fixed up or attached to something. Not for a second our mind is vacant. So this vacancy has to be filled up by the presence of Krishna. That is perfect yoga. And the last chapter, we are speaking from the 7th chapter. In the last chapter, 6th chapter, Krishna says, Yoginamapi sarvesam madgata antaratmana sadhyaman bhajati jumang same yuktadamo mata. Yogina, there are many yogis, many different types of yogis. But the best yogi, the foremost yogi, best of all, is he who Yoginamapi sarvesam madgata, simply in relationship with me, thinking of me, madgata antaratmana, within the core of heart, always thinking of Krishna. Madgata, yoga process means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, generally Lord Vishnu. The Lord Vishnu and Krishna, there is no difference. They are the same. Krishna is the original Vishnu. So, the first class yogi is he who is always concentrating his mind upon Krishna. Yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana sadhyava. Unless you have got Shraddha, you cannot make any progress. Shraddha means faith. Just like you have all kept. You have got little faith or more faith. There is faith. Without faith, how you could come here and spare some time for understanding Krishna or hearing about Krishna? So this is the beginning. Sadhyava, sadhyavan bhajati juma. With faith. That faith begins in the Bhagavad Gita. The Krishna is creating that faith personally. He is speaking about himself to create your faith. Krishna says that you are searching after the Supreme. Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvang pravartate. Aham adirhi devana. So, in this way Krishna not advertising himself, but he is presenting himself because he comes down to establish real religious system. Jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharat. Dharma samsthapanartha. He has come. He came to establish real religious principle. Real religious principle means to accept the codes of Krishna. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranita. Nobody can create religious principle. A man cannot create. That is not possible. Any religious system which is created by man, that is not religion. Religion means what is created by God. That is religion. Dharmantu sakshat. Sakshat means directly. So this Bhagavad Gita is real religion because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead for the benefit of the whole human society. And Krishna says also, that if you have got any other faith, religion, you give it up. Sarva dharman parityaj. Mam ekam, only one. God is one. Religion is one. The process of religion is one. and the activity who is in God relationship, his activity is also one. That is oneness.